Okay, so we are gonna learn about noun clauses in 3 simple steps. Okay.
Are really common, which means noun clauses are really common. In today's lesson, I'm going to teach you the function and how to use noun clauses. We can do this in 3 simple steps. Step 1, what is a noun? Step 2, what are the functions of a noun? And step 3, the 3 groups. If you can put all of these together, you can form a noun clause. At the end of this lesson, I have a test for you with 7 questions. Can you let me know your score in the comments below?
Yep.
Did you get 7 out of 7? Or maybe 4 out of 7? Let me know. My name's Arnell. Let's start. Step 1. What is a noun? I think a lot of you already know what a noun is, but I want to do a mini review so we're all on the same page. A noun can be a person, a place, or a thing. A person, mom, teachers, gym, a place, a restaurant, a country, the zoo, thing, a pen, an animal, a tree. Nouns don't only need to be things you can touch or see. We can have abstract nouns, which are usually emotions or ideas. Trust, jealousy, intelligence, stupidity. I'm sure you can think of a lot of nouns off the top of your head.
Abstract nouns.
Did you tell her about love, travel, moonlight, Italy, about hummingbirds in all the flowers?
I think you get the idea. Take a look at these 4 sentences. What nouns can you see? Pause the video to do this.
Students can buy a discounted book.
Okay, here are my nouns. And you can see in sentence number 3, I have a pronoun. Nouns or pronouns. And you can also see nouns rarely stand alone. They're usually used with their modifiers, like discounted books or the principal. So in today's lesson, when I say noun, I mean noun or noun phrase, a noun with all of its modifiers. Step number 2. What are the functions of a noun? Nouns can be subjects, direct objects, indirect objects, the object of the preposition, and subject complements. If you're not sure about some of this terminology like indirect objects, subject complements, don't worry. You don't need to be a pro on these topics to understand today's lesson. But I do have a full-length video on these topics on my YouTube channel, which I'll leave down below for you. So why am I spending so much time telling you about nouns and the functions of nouns? Well, if you understand what nouns are, noun clauses are a piece of cake. Let's move on to step number 3. Okay, you can see I have 3 groups here with these pronouns and conjunctions. To form a noun clause, you need one of these words plus subject plus a verb. Let's start with group number 1. I have my WH words. Who, what, when, where, why, how, whose, which, whom. I know how is an exception, but I'm still going to put it in this group here. I have noun and noun clause. I'm going to put these next to each other so you can really see how a noun clause functions as a noun. I know. Know needs an object. I know the plan. We have a plan. I know the plan. I know what I need to do. What plus subject plus verb. You can see my noun clause is a dependent clause that functions as a noun. Everyone wanted to discuss the problem. Everyone wanted to discuss why they had to work on Sunday. Why plus subject plus a verb. Again, my noun clause is functioning as the direct object, noun. The departure time is unclear. When we need to leave is unclear. When plus subject plus a verb. You can see my noun clause is now the subject of the sentence, just like a normal noun can be a subject. And remember, noun clauses are not questions. I'm not saying, when do we need to leave? No, I'm making a statement. When we need to leave is unclear. We need to think about money. We need to think about how we can raise money for our school. How plus subject plus a verb. Here, my noun clause is the object of the preposition about. You might be asking yourself, why do I need noun clauses? Why can't I just use a noun? Well, sometimes nouns are too simplistic. We need to think about money. That's kind of a simple idea. I can use my noun clause to express something a bit more. We need to think about how we can raise money for our school.
I don't understand this. I'm only paying half.
You can't do that.
Why not?
He's a doctor. You gotta pay what he says.
No, I pay what I say.
First things first, you gotta is very informal and short for you got to, which means you need to pay what he says. In this clip, you can see how useful a noun clause is. The noun clause can express a more complex direct object that a normal noun can't. Okay, we've looked at a lot of examples with one of these words plus subject plus verb. But sometimes your WH word is the subject. Jessica told me who sits here, but I forgot. Who? Where's the subject? Who is the subject? So remember, usually you'll see a subject and a verb after the WH word, but not always. If who is a subject of the clause, what can be the object of the clause? Whom. You can invite whom you like to the party. But to be honest, whom is rarely used nowadays, especially in spoken English. So many people do choose to use who for both the subject and the object. I just want you to be aware of that. Okay, here are all of the sentences we've looked at so far. If you're having trouble identifying a noun clause, you can do a little test. If you remove the noun clause and replace it with a normal noun or pronoun, your sentence will still make sense. Take a look. I've chosen kind of random nouns to fill in those spaces. And you can see all of these still make sense. Let's take a look at a little clip.
You can provide. Who you decide to focus on should be based on two things: the goal of your personal brand and the people who can best benefit from your unique talents and skills. So spend some time.
Okay, I have two clauses and they look very similar. Pause the video and think, which one is the noun clause? Only one is a noun clause. The first one is the noun clause.
Okay.
How do I know this? Well, let's do that little test. I can remove it and replace it with a normal noun. Your business should. And the sentence still makes sense. The second clause is not functioning as a noun. It's describing people. So we know the second clause is a relative clause. If you want more information on relative clauses, I do have a video on my channel and I'll leave the link down below for you. Group number 2. These words function the same way grammatically as group number 1. That makes them pretty simple. So what's the difference between who, whoever, what, whatever, where, wherever? When we add the suffix ever, we mean it doesn't matter. Specifics are not important.
You want this cup holder, you want it mounted on the left or the right or in the middle?
Whatever.
And the verb mount means to attach something, usually to a wall or other hard surface. So in this show, the character is actually trying to make a place to sleep under his desk. So the man building this area asks, do you want this cup holder mounted on the left, the right, or the middle? Whatever. It doesn't matter. Specifics are not important. And don't worry, these words are not rude or impolite. It all depends on the context and the tone of your voice. Take a look at this little clip and hear whatever makes sense. This lady doesn't have her hearing aid in, so whatever he said is fine. It doesn't matter. It's fine. What time should we meet? Whenever you're available works for me. I'm using whenever because I don't care when. Any time works for me. And remember, again, noun clauses function as nouns. So it's not the same as saying, whenever I get in an elevator, I feel claustrophobic. Is that clause functioning as a noun? No. So keep that in mind. Don't let the vocabulary throw you off. Whoever draws the lucky number 7 will win $1,000. Send whomever you know this message. Everyone can participate in whichever activity they want. Wherever you choose to host the event must be within walking distance of the train station. Let's do that little noun clause test again. Here are the sentences we've looked at in group 2. We can remove our noun clauses and replace them with a normal noun, and they still make sense. Give it a try. What nouns can you think of that are appropriate in these sentences? Group Number 3, last but not least, we have that, if, whether, plus subject, plus verb. These are similar to what we looked at earlier. See, I just use a noun clause as the object of the preposition. I heard that Alex has a gambling problem. Gambling is when you risk your money in a game. Like when people go to a casino, they gamble. So I heard that he has a gambling problem. This next example is from a book called The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith. That he could not afford a temporary secretary was perfectly obvious. That plus subject plus verb. Let's move on to if or whether. If and whether are used to choose between two options, usually yes or no. And you might be thinking,
that doesn't make sense.
Let's use a chart. You can see I have if and whether. What's the difference? If is slightly less formal, whether is slightly more formal, but they can be used in the same way. Please let me know if you need my help or not. You can see the two choices. Yes, you need my help, or no, you don't need my help. Or not is optional because if already implies the two choices. Please let me know whether you need my help or not. Yes, you do, or no, you don't. With whether, there's another option. Please let me know whether or not you need my help. That's also a possibility. I wonder if Max got the job or not. I wonder whether Max got the job or not. I wonder whether or not Max got the job. But I do need to mention that group 3 has its exceptions, like if cannot be used as the object of the preposition. Do you think Bailey will be here for the meeting? It depends on whether the trains are running on time. It depends on if the trains are running on time.
When I say that I'm not interested in content, it would be the same as a painter worrying about whether the apples that he's painting, whether they're sweet or sour. Who cares?
Lots of interesting stuff here. I have a noun clause here at the beginning, and then we have worrying about whether the apples that he's painting, whether they're sweet or sour. I cannot use if after my preposition about. And you might notice this mini clause here, that he's painting. Is this clause functioning as a noun? No, this clause is describing apples. So it's a relative clause. And let's confirm what we've done so far and do that little noun clause test. I can remove those noun clauses and replace them with normal nouns. What's up with wonder? Why did I not change wonder? Wonder is a really unique verb. But first things first, the pronunciation, wonder. Like the number 1, wonder, not wander. When we wonder, we are thinking about a question. So it makes sense that wonder is followed by a noun clause because noun clauses often start with question words. I wonder who, I wonder if, I wonder when.
I wonder how, I wonder why.
So with all grammar, it's important to keep in mind that we have exceptions. But if you only focus on the exceptions, you'll go crazy. Let's move on to the test. Test time. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm
All the
ready.
examples in my test come from the book Hideaway by Nora Roberts. Noun clauses are so common that I actually just had to quickly look through this book to find all of these examples. Okay, I have 7 pairs of sentences. All of the sentences are correct, but in each pair, there is only one noun clause. In each pair, choose the noun clause. Pause the video to do this.
When we knew who we were looking for, we got some information. We get some help in the spring and summer when we need it. Okay. First from the first one. I have to write it somewhere. Right? Second of second. Third one. First one of the third one, okay? First one of the sixth. Wait, fourth? Fifth. I messed it up. Okay. Fourth. There's no underline in the fourth one. How could I understand that? Okay, there's an underline. Okay. We get some help in the spring and summer when we need it. Second of the fourth. I'm confused in this. Let's do the fifth. First one of the fifth. First one of the sixth. First one of the seventh. Okay, let's see.
How did you do?
The first one of the first. Correct. Second of the second. Okay, good. Okay, first of the third. Right. Fourth, I am wrong in the fourth one. Fifth, I am correct in the fifth one. Sixth, correct. Seventh, wrong. 2 wrong and 5 correct.
Let me know in the comments down below. I love hearing from you. Well, I hope this lesson helped you, and I can't wait to make another lesson for you. See you next time.
This is for today's video, and I'm going to study more. Now that is, I did not get all the things from this video because I don't know, that was very complicated for me. I did not know about the clauses before, but I know a little now. Maybe if I revise, I'll know better. Take care. Bye. See you in the next video.